from the station that's on your side. This is News 12, First at 5.
A bill to establish a hate crimes law in South Carolina is now halfway to Governor McMaster's desk. Next, live at 5, we hear from neighbors on the bill's progress.
But first, the rain is moving out for now, but Riley says those chances will increase by Sunday. But you know what? The pollen.
I was going to say, we don't like rain on the weekend,
No.
But in this case, we might enjoy it there.
Yeah, it's just going to be some yellow puddles out there, Riley. Gross.
Absolutely, guys. Definitely a good soaking across the area. Okay, not too many backups there off Lewiston Road. Have an update on that weekend forecast for you in just about 10 minutes.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. The Richmond County coroner has launched an investigation after finding a dead person on Wade Road. This person was shot. He was pronounced dead around 10 this morning. The victim was shot at an unknown location, though, before being found. At this hour, his identity is not known. An autopsy has been scheduled, of course. We'll pass along any new information when we get it.
SLED needs your help identifying these two suspects regarding a shooting that happened on March 2nd at South Carolina State University. Officers were called to the campus after receiving reports of a shooting at Eugene Suites from around 12:30 a.m. That's where they found a male student with non-life-threatening injuries. He was treated at the hospital. If you have any information, reach out to SLED's Low Country Regional Office.
There is a push now in Columbia County to get its own downtown area, but after Stay Social and Roll On In closed, that idea got pushed back a bit.
Now one business owner is trying to revive that push with more businesses behind the Columbia County Performing Arts Center. Our Hallie Turner shows us what's coming.
With Columbia County growing at a rapid pace, community members say the need for places to eat, shop, and relax are top of the leaderboard. John Bojaskal has lived in Evans a long time. He says he created a plan to bring those dreams to life, and from there came the Evans Society. The original idea was to start with what Evans needed first, a coffee shop run by his daughter Jennifer. She will soon have a restaurant, massage therapy, clothing store, and more. Join her.
When this all started, it wasn't about expansion or going big. We really wanted to start small. We wanted to start somewhere and just have an opportunity to experiment in our passion for coffee. I also had left the medical field because I felt like I was trying to fit myself into a puzzle that it just wouldn't work, and I decided to choose something that made me happy, and it was coffee, and everything just started to fall into place. And with that being said, it just taking off and growing like this was honestly completely unplanned.
Coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we hear from community members on why they pushed for these businesses to be downtown.
Thanks, Hallie. We have seen countless killings in some of our local counties that some have deemed as a hate crime. Just this year alone, we saw 2 men charged for the 2019 killing of an Allendale woman. Yesterday, a hate crimes law passed in the South Carolina House yesterday after just 2 hours of debate. More than half of the 124 state representatives are supporting the Clementa C. Pinckney Hate Crimes Act, whose namesake comes from former South Carolina State Senator Pinckney, who was one of the 9 Mother Emanuel AME church shooting victims.
The bill still has a ways to go before it reaches Governor McMaster's desk. It will move to the Senate, where it died last year after never getting a floor debate.
Molly McBride spoke with Representative Wendell Gilliard, the main sponsor of the bill, and other local activists about what their plans moving forward are.
We'll enjoy the moment, but now the real work is just begun.
Representative Gilliard says the challenge now is to get the ears of the Senate and to explain this bill is about the community as a whole and not individual party preferences.
I don't see this effort as a party effort or a particular group effort. This is a people effort. This is about we the people.
Representative Gilliard and local activists are encouraging everyone to contact state senators to get them on board. I spoke to Charleston activist Pastor Thomas Dixon, who tells me he felt encouraged by how fast the House moved forward with the bill, but isn't ready to celebrate just yet.
As the bill moves over to the Senate, I don't really have the optimistic hope that it's going to pass in the Senate this time, because the same people who would not vote in favor of it last year in the Senate, they're still in the same seats this year.
Pastor Dixon says if people have not been voting and contacting their state legislators about this bill, they should expect the worst.
Optimism without action is hopelessness. To believe that something is going to happen without doing something in order to make sure it happens, that's futile.
Blondell Gadsden, a lifelong member of the Mother Emanuel Church, lost her sister, Myra Thompson, in the 2015 church shooting. She says it's near and dear to her heart to make sure their deaths weren't in vain.
It was really hard on the families when we realized that, what we had to go through in order for it to even be considered a hate crime.
She's made it her priority to have conversations wherever she gets the opportunity to talk about this bill.
We all need to take a look at how we are able to make this bill a reality because it impacts all of our lives.
Pastor Dixon says if the bill is passed into law, it will send a strong message that hate is not going to be tolerated here in South Carolina.
South Carolina is just one of 2 states without a hate crimes law.
Well, some Wells Fargo customers woke up this morning to find money missing from their accounts. In a statement to NBC, the bank acknowledged some direct deposit transactions were not showing up in accounts and that they were working on a fix. It's not immediately clear how widespread the issue is or how many customers it affected. In a statement to customers early Friday morning, the bank said the missing deposits were due to an unspecified technical issue and accounts were safe and secure.
Palmetto State Bank's former CEO is requesting a new trial yet again, this time based on Alec Murdaugh's testimony in his murder trial last month. The motion filed yesterday argues that Russell Lafitte should be granted a new trial based on Murdaugh's testimony that Lafitte was unaware of the financial crimes and the pair did not conspire together. In the testimony, Murdaugh claims Lafitte was not a knowing and willful participant in the criminal conspiracy. Lafitte's lawyers say the government cannot sustain the burden to prove that he was a knowing participant.
Alec Murdaugh's son, Buster Murdaugh, is reportedly being followed once again by reporters, and this time his girlfriend was the one to file the police report. She told deputies the behavior of certain members of the press have become increasingly unsettling and frightening to her. The report says White walked out of the house and found someone looking into her car windows. She told deputies the same reporter had been following her and Buster at the courthouse during Alec's trial. She also said that she didn't know how the reporter found their address and that reporters were even going door to door in their neighborhood trying to get neighbors to talk about them.
Next, live at 5, when the students aren't studying, they are learning how to save lives. Riley?
And the rain is done for the rest of tonight, and we will stay dry Saturday, but more rain in store by Sunday. We'll have a full look at that forecast for you just after the break.
This may look like a real parking ticket, but coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we'll learn more about these fake tickets that are showing up in downtown Augusta.
Time and include most of the central, southern CSRA and western CSRA, so just a heads up. Once again, if you flood easily, just be mindful that you could see some minor issues. If you have tea time tomorrow, looks great for that. We are going to see temperatures just a little bit cool out there to start the day, but afternoon tea time should be gorgeous. Partly cloudy skies and temps most likely into the mid-60s. A great day to hit the links. Looking ahead to next week, we are looking at temperatures to stay pretty chilly for us. Actually, by early next Wednesday, we could be dealing with the morning freeze, so be sure to follow that forecast if you have any sensitive plans.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. A unique program in Cobb County is giving teenagers the chance to learn what it takes to be a county firefighter.
Sawyer Bussey tagged along for the day to see what goes inside the training.
You see someone training to save a life.
On the shower side of the building.
You see the drills.
103.
You hear the equipment. You notice the sweat. But under all this gear, do you see a teenager?
Yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
These students are from Osborne High School. They enrolled in the Firefighting Pathway program.
Students just arrive. We're getting ready to do one of the state skills that they have to be checked off on, rapid dress.
They take a bus from school to the Cobb County Fire Department Training Center.
The program is 2 years long, so the first full year is firefighting, and then the second year is that EMT class.
They learn how to apply a tourniquet, how to administer CPR. They train to break down doors, to maneuver through a fire with their team in mind, how to work their gear.
I've been pushed to my limits, and I think that this program has definitely showed that. I definitely have some weak spots, but it's made me grow a lot.
Sophomores, juniors, and seniors are in the program now.
I see test scores go up. My kids' grades are better.
The seniors will graduate. 4 have already started the hiring process with the Cobb County Fire Department.
It's taught me so much responsibility, respect, and leadership that I never knew I was capable of.
This program gives teens an opportunity. And yes, that could mean a career opportunity. But sometimes it means students are given the opportunity to build something for themselves they didn't have before.
It's a family. The fire department's a family.
It's a family I never had.
Sawyer Bussey, Atlanta News First.
And just an awesome program there. Well, solar panel purchases are on the rise, but before you buy one, we have a warning to tell you about. Stick with us.
News 12, voted best weather coverage by the Georgia Association of Broadcasters. Don't ignore the
.com.
There was a sound in the breeze, a song from the trees that whispered through the night. Just an ordinary place, but I held you just in case we traveled to the end of time. And I know that I love you. I hear you singing in my mind.
Foundation settlement can be serious. Rely on Ramjack Foundation Repair.
Solar panel sales have reached a high in South Carolina. Nearly 35,000 solar installations occurred through July 31st of 2022.
It's the most since 2014, which is when the growth of solar really started in the Palmetto State. But as Michael Higdon reports, not everyone is happy with their purchase.
Nancy Gilbert has lived in this house in Charleston County for 26 years. In 2016, a salesman for Vivint, now Sunrun, convinced Nancy's husband that solar was the way to go for their household because their home faced the right direction.
We thought we were doing our part of helping the world, so we went with it.
Unfortunately, Nancy's husband passed away in May.
We got to the point where we looked at the contract, and my dad was the sole signer, so we told Sunrun, come get your stuff. Get your panels, get them off the house. We don't want them. She's not signing the contract. Well, it turns out there's an heirs clause in the lease.
Nancy explains, as it stands now, they're getting some electricity for themselves. They're sending some to the electric company and some to Sunrun.
We're in the hole. And now they've raised the percentage on the lease. So now we're even losing more money. Our electric bill is fairly reasonable. We're somewhere in the neighborhood of $125 to $150 a month. So I don't have a problem with that. I just don't think that I ought to be footing the bill for them to make money on my roof.
Darren says that they are 6 years in for leasing the panels, and they have 14 years left.
I calculated it out. It would be it's going to cost roughly $12,000 more over the next 12 years than just paying for an electric bill.
And the Gilberts aren't the only people having difficulty with a solar company. When it comes to regulations, how do you guys make sure that the companies are doing what they say that they're supposed to be doing and that consumers aren't being taken advantage of?
We did notice that there were a lot of bad actors that came on the scene with the 2014 Act 236. So with the Energy Freedom Act, one of the things that was important to have in there was consumer protection. So one of the first things in there is to make sure there's consumer protection regulations established.
The Department of Consumer Affairs has regulations for people who purchase or finance solar installations. They have received 379 complaints since 2014 when Act 236 was implemented to help spur growth of solar. The Office of Regulatory Staff has regulations for people who lease solar installations. They've had about 24 complaints since 2017, most of which were against Sunrun and Vivint, which are now the same company.
The state encourages you to do any of your due diligence, your homework, just any kind of research you can before signing any agreement. And the Energy Office is happy to answer any questions or to help you with any issues that you might be having with your solar panel company.
Well, the driver behind a shocking North Carolina airport attack is waking up in jail. Take a look. New Hanover County deputies arrested the guy at the Wilmington airport last night when he crashed his car into a terminal, hurting a TSA agent. Deputies confirmed that the driver will face both state and federal charges, but they haven't identified him or specified what those may be. Riley?
Well, remember this weekend we do spring forward, so as you head to bed Saturday night, make sure you are turning those clocks ahead 1 hour. We'll get those 7:30 sunsets back by Sunday. Now look at the 7-day forecast for you just after the break.
It's Ram Truck Month at Waynesboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Come pick up your pickup with up to $7,500 off our huge selection. Take the short drive down 25 to save time and money.
You're invited. Plus, get this bonus buy. Buy an extra chair, get one free. Now at Rooms to Go.
It's Ram Truck Month at Waynesboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get 0% financing. Check out our selection of 2500s and 3500s. Take the short drive down 25 to save time and money.
A favorite St. Patrick's Day tradition kicked off the season in Savannah this afternoon, the greening of the fountain. The ceremony was shorter than usual because it was truly pouring rain while it was happening.
And as Savannah Mayor Van Johnson put it, a little rain didn't stop anyone. It's not just the Forsyth Fountain that got green. Every fountain in every Savannah Square is green now as the countdown to St. Patty's Day is officially on here. Yeah, it's a pretty good turnout for how much it's raining there.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's the start of the St. Patrick's week, and hard to believe we're already to St. Patrick's Day next Friday, but it should be a great celebration down there in Savannah heading into next week. We do have rain moving out, so all that rain that was impacting us earlier into the day, Savannah as well as what we just saw from that video there, looking to clear out for the rest of this evening into tonight. Nice view from our Grovetown camera. We're still in the mid-60s. If you have any evening plans, temperatures will drop into the 50s once we get a couple hours past sunset. And then waking up tomorrow morning, it is going to feel a little bit chilly out there. We're going to wake up in the 30s. Plan your outdoor events for Saturday because we have more rain moving in by Sunday.
Sounds good. That's all the time we have. Much more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break as News 12 Live at 5 continues.